Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gbemmy, and if you're new here, I'm a new immigrant in Canada. I'll keep saying new because it's not yet a year anyway. I'm a new immigrant in Canada. I film videos about my life in Canada, vlogs, career, and things in between. Today's video is about how to thrive as a new immigrant at your first job in Canada. Personally, I basically got a raise 6 months into my first job in Canada. And if you watch my video about how I got my job before I landed, I got a job back home before I left Nigeria, and I landed here. And yeah, I want to share what I think can make you successful, in my opinion. This video is not career advice, it's not what you should do, it's not, you don't have to do it. I'm telling you what I did to succeed at my first job in Canada. So stick around, and I'll be back to share my tips soon. Before we go, sorry, continue, sorry. Oh my God. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like videos like this, and let's go. So first and foremost, I'll say be a sponge. I know you hear that all the time. You know how you throw a dry sponge in water and it soaks up the water? So be a sponge. I used to work for a multinational back home in Nigeria, so I had basically had a lot of experience, and I've been working for about 8 years before I moved here. Oh my God, yeah, 7 to 8 years, I think, before I moved here. So I had a lot of work experience. But what helped me was that when I joined my company, I won't say I forgot everything I knew, but I opened my mind to learn so much. I mean, the way um, the job is here and back home is not so different, but again it's different because there are different terms. There's a way they communicate here. There are terms that we don't use back home. Basically, you need to open your mind to learn. Don't be rigid. Just assume you're a baby starting to work again. I know for a lot of us coming here, you basically downgrade and go to a lower job, and it can be a little, I don't know, a bruise on your ego. I was a CEO back in my country. Now I'm here doing, I know, I understand. And for most starter jobs, it's mostly like you're going a step lower. If you're not going a step lower, lucky you, amazing. But for most people, you're going a step lower, and you want, even if you're, how I put it, by going a step lower, and I know like, oh, it's a downgrade, but you want to open your mind to learn as much as possible. So open your mind and be a sponge. Learn as much as possible about your industry. Go online, even like during your break, you want to go online, maybe like 5-10 minutes, learn so much. And for the thing about here is that they give you so much resources to thrive because they know you're new. So open your mind and be as open as possible. All right. So my number one tip is be a sponge. My number two tip is have a buddy. What I've learned is that when you join any company here, they give you somebody to shadow. So make sure you shadow your buddy as much as possible. So tell them to copy you when they send mails out, because for most companies, the way they communicate and the way they communicate back home is not the same. So you want to see how this person communicates with people within the organization and things like that. For my company, for instance, we use like FYI, very, very semi-formal language in our communication. So you want to, look at things like that, see how your body operates, tell them to bring you along if they have meetings, tell them to always ask questions. If there's something you don't know before going to your manager, try to ask your body, so your body can put you through difficult things. Basically just shadow this person. And even if this person is maybe younger than you are, I know this is something for some of us, younger than you are, or maybe you think they are less experienced, just left uni, leave all of that one aside. You're here to make money and to basically build your career. So try as much as possible to have a buddy and attach to your body for at least 1 to 2 months, and you can learn how the work process goes. Okay, number two, have a buddy. Number three, I'll say be open to the culture. And I'm not saying like the culture, like the Canadian culture. That's a different story for another day, but the work culture. What I realize is that even when they are recruiting, fine, you have the degree, you have the work experience, but you're looking for a culture fit. They want someone who fits into the organization. They don't want somebody who they have to walk on eggshells around them. I'm not saying you should go to work to make friends, even though, in my opinion, I think making friends at work is not such a bad idea. But be open to the culture. What I realized here is that they like to talk, small talk. Or what you do on the weekend. Did you just anything nice this weekend? How was the weather in Toronto? Did it rain? Was it snowy? So you want to bring up, and they like to like start meetings by talking about, oh my god, you have like a nice shirt on, things like that. Or so you want to be open to the culture. I'm not saying you should be friendly. I'm not saying you should make friends, but be friendly, be open to the culture, make small talk if you like. I think you should make small talk anyway, but make small talk and basically try to fit into the organization. I'm not saying don't be yourself, be your authentic self. Like for me, for instance, I talk about, oh, like when I was in Nigeria, like when you talk about like, what's your favorite food? I say, oh, I like Nigerian food because it's spicy, things like that. They want to hear from you. And when you talk about, oh, how's the weather? I talk about, oh my god, it's too cold for me. I'm used to summer all year round because basically summer all year round back home. They want to hear from you. They want you to talk. So be a culture fit and try to understand how things work around there. I'm not saying you should conform. I'm saying you should be yourself, but also try to go with the flow. That's the word. So number three, understand the culture and be open to the culture of the organization. Also, don't be afraid to ask questions. Like something I noticed when my manager sends me like a task or something, they always add, please reach out to me if you have any questions. So be open to asking questions. Don't be afraid. I think for some of us back home, we've had like some very, I don't know, strange managers, but I think what I've noticed here is that they are open to helping. They want to help you. Also, you to ask creative questions. For me, I don't particularly say, let's say I'm having a difficulty doing a task. I don't directly ask my manager, how do I do this? I basically suggest, oh, I have done this by doing this and this. What do you think? Can I hear your opinion? Does this work out? Is this how it's done? Basically, you want to ask creative questions and they are always open to help you. Number four, always ask questions, creative questions anyway. And number five, always be thorough. If there's something that's helped me thrive here is that I try to go the extra mile. I know it's your first job, it's lower than what you were doing in Nigeria or back in your country, but you want to go and be thorough. Something happened at my job. I had a customer reach out basically to like my boss, and they were like, oh, this person, that's me, did not reach out to me about so blah blah blah. You've not been in contact with me, blah blah blah. Thankfully, what I do is that after a meeting, I meet anybody. We have a chat even via Teams or whatever, and we have like a meeting. Once the meeting is done, I make sure I send the notes. Basically, in the notes, I send what I'm supposed to do, what I'm expected what to do, and what the other person is expected to do. So basically, I send the note to hold the other person accountable, and also to basically protect myself to say, I did this, I did that. Basically, I always make sure I am thorough. I am thorough in my reporting and all of basically you do your job and basically go the extra mile. And yeah, I think that's number five, be thorough. And also try to make good connections. The job market here thrives on references, connections, people putting a good work for you. My colleague was a reference for me for getting my apartment. I mean, she put in a good word for me with my landlord and all of that because we were trying to verify my job. So you want to make good connections because eventually this is your forever home anyway. These connections that you make can help you thrive in your career here, especially if you want to stay in that industry and all of that. So try to make good connections, be friendly, and yeah, also add value to your organization. So number 60 is definitely make good connection. And also my last tip has to be thrive for excellence. I don't care whatever job you're doing, if you are at a lower paying job than you were back home, thrive for excellence. It's not about the company you're working at, is about yourself. It's also about when you thrive for excellence, you also help yourself grow in the industry you're at here, in the market here. And also when you want to move to another job, you've done the work, you've basically learned everything. And also it helps you to know that even if you're doing a job that's not as great as what you were doing before, you are basically giving it your absolute best until you get where you want to get to. Okay, so my last tip is also thrive, oh my god, for excellence. All right, that's the end of this video. Please leave me a comment down below. I want to hear what you think about working as your first job as an immigrant in Canada, or if you found this video helpful, let me know what you think. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe to this channel, and I'll be back to see you in my next video. All right, bye.